Hello. I know it's been a very long time since I've uploaded on this channel, but I felt like coming back, and what better way to come back than to do an Elden Ring Gungus tutorial. So this is Gungus, this is my Elden Ring character, and he's perfect. He's actually one of the greatest builds in Elden Ring of all time, and the cool thing is, you can make Gungus immediately. Like when you start the game, you will immediately be able to make Gungus, and you really don't have to put that much effort into it at all. So before we begin, I'm just going to answer a couple questions. Why is he called Gungus? Well, I asked some people on Reddit what he should be called, and someone said Gungus, and I thought that was special. So he's called Gungus because he's called Gungus. He's wearing this because he is a frog, and he wants to be a nobleman. So this is Gungus the frog. He has this. So let's just talk about the setup for this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start a new character, and you're going to want to pick the samurai class. This is going to be the best starting class for you just because this weapon needs a lot of strength and dexterity. As you can see here, it needs 17 strength and 22 dexterity. And yeah, you're just going to want to pick the samurai class because that's going to be the best starting class. And we are going to get some talismans to do some other things, but mainly you're going to level up your strength, your dexterity, and your health so you can survive more attacks and Gungus can succeed. So this is going to be a pretty long tutorial. I want this to be pretty in-depth. So if you know how Elden Ring works, if you've played Elden Ring for 200 hours like I have, and you want to just get Gungus right now, all you need is the Albinuaric mask, the Godskin Noble robe, and for arms and pants, I don't have any pants on right now, but you can just wear whatever you want. I'll show you some pants later that look good, but unfortunately they are in the DLC, so that will take a very long time to access. And then of course you're going to use the Godskin peeler, and you're going to use the blood attunement on that. So I think Gungus is amazing, and at the end of this video, I'm sure that you will think Gungus is amazing too. So let's begin. So while you can create Gungus from the very start, I'm actually going to be splicing this tutorial with a few different characters. I'm mainly going to be showing you these steps on the Hugh Jackman character I have here, just so that I don't have to fight all the bosses at level 1 and have it be super hard. I might also switch to my Willem Dafoe character here, because there's some things that I haven't done on Hugh Jackman yet, but it'll be okay. So just watch this video, don't worry about what character I am, just listen to my words, and trust me, at the end, you will 100% be able to use Gungus. Alright, so when you start the game, I'm not going to show every single time when I'm just running, because that'll just take forever, and I don't want to have to do that. So I'll be using fast travel to get here, but when you start down here, of course. You can do the tutorial if you want to fight the Soldier of Godrick and get more runes. Then you run over here past the Tree Sentinel into the church, you run over here, then you get the horse. Now, instead of going this way like it wants, you're actually going to go this way, and down here, over here somewhere there's a map, you can get that. But you are going to head all the way down here to this place called Fort Haight. So we're going to fast travel there now. And there's actually two things that you need to do here. So the first thing you're going to want to get is the Dectus medallion. Now I already have it on this character, and I think I have it on all my characters. So unfortunately I won't be able to show you me picking it up. But I will show you exactly where it is. That's also not the only thing we're going to do here. There is one enemy we have to fight, and he will be pretty difficult, but I believe in you, and I think that you can do it. So we're going to go over here from the Grace. It should be pretty straightforward on how to get here. You can jump over this big pumpkin guy. He's not going to hit me. So we can go in here. This is a pretty easy area. It's not too big. There's going to be people throwing stuff at you, but it's fine. Oh my goodness. Okay. So just don't worry about that. You can kill these guys if you want. You don't really have to. Although this guy just hit me. But this man right here, you are going to have to defeat him. And he is probably going to hit me. I didn't even know that attack did damage, but once you kill this man, you're going to get that right there. The Ash of War Bloody Slash. So this is actually really useful because the Godskin Peeler, normally the weapon that Gungus uses, has this tornado thing. And you could use that if you want. But if you put the Bloody Slash on it, you are going to get bleed on it. And it does 101 bleed or something like that. So you're going to be far more successful if you use that. And it's just going to be way better because bleed is one of the best things in the game. Now, you're going to climb up this ladder, and then in this chest is going to be the first half of the Dectus medallion. Again, I already have that, but just pick it up from this chest, and then we're done with Fort Haight, so we're going to go to our next location. Alright, so after you get the medallion, you're going to want to go all the way down here to the Weeping Peninsula. It should be pretty easy to make it here as long as you follow the trail and get all the maps. So after that, we're going to go over to this waypoint right here. Might not be exactly there, but it's around that area. And we are going to fight a little scarab. Now, this thing is really annoying because if you miss an attack, it teleports away and you have to go all the way back to the Grace. It's really stupid, but to circumvent this, I'm going to try to use this bow. And if that doesn't work, I'll just try again normally until I get it. But he's over here. I'll show you where he is. He's right there. He's just sitting there, and you're just going to want to make sure you get him before he teleports away. I'm not sure if the bow will actually work right here, but it is worth trying. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot him. There we go, that worked. So that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the Poison Mist Incantation. Now, I know that I said that you're only going to be using Strength and Dexterity in the Peeler, but the Peeler is actually very difficult to get in the early game, and if you want to be Gungus right from the beginning, like you should be, then you're going to want to get this thing because this is going to help us get the weapon and the armor. So even though the Scarab is really annoying, just get a bow and shoot it, and then now you have the Poison Mist. Alright, so after we get the Poison Mist, we're going to head over to the Round Table Hold. If you want to get there quickly and using a controller, just press Y, X, and A, or triangle, square, and X if you're on PlayStation. And now we're here at the Round Table Hold. So we are going to get a seal so that we can use the Poison Mist. So you are going to need a few runes. I have 1200 right now. I think that should be enough. So you're going to walk over here to the Twin Maiden Husks. And there it is right there, the Finger Seal. So you do need 10 faith, and if you listen to me and pick the Samurai at the beginning, you're not going to have 10 faith. But that's okay, we'll deal with that later. For now, just be happy that you have the Finger Seal. You can go ahead and use it right now with your sword or whatever other weapon you have. And we'll show you later when we're going to need to use that. For right now, you won't need it, but it'll be good to have it now just in case. Alright, after you get the seal, we're going to head over here to Fort Faroth. This is in Caelid, so how you get there is you're going to want to go up here to the Stormhill Shack and then just follow this trail all the way over here. And then when you get here, just go to the left over here and eventually you'll end up here. There'll be a big dragon here that I already killed on this character, but don't worry, we'll go back to that later. So what you're going to want to do is make your way through the fort, and then you're going to get the second half of the Dectus Medallion. So that's what we picked up earlier in the other fort. So just follow me, it should be pretty easy to get. You can run past all these bats. They might poison you, but it's okay. Just start climbing the ladder here. I'm getting poisoned, but it's fine. I think I'm out of their range now. So yeah, just keep climbing the ladder, and then eventually we'll get to the top, and you'll find the second half of the Dectus Medallion. So again, on this character, I already have it, but it'll be right here in this chest. Then once you have it, you are done with the Dectus Medallion. But before we leave the fort, there's actually something pretty cool we can pick up. So if you jump down here and follow me, don't jump in any of these holes except for this specific one. There'll be some guys that appear, but don't worry, you can just run past them. Be sure to jump down here into this one, and then follow this path right here. There'll be some rats. You're going to want to make this jump here. It shouldn't be too hard. There'll be some rats over here. I'll try to fight them on here, but if they're too difficult, you can just run past them. And if I die, that'll be very unfortunate. Oh, that's very unfortunate. I'm very sorry, everyone. Alright, last time I died to the rats, so I'm just going to try to avoid them. So what you're going to want to do is drop down here, and I already have it on this character, but right here there will be a talisman called Radagon Scarseal. This is a pretty good talisman, and while you're here, you might as well pick it up. I'm going to leave now. Goodbye. Alright, so after that, we're not going to kill the big dragon in the fort. We're going to head back to Limgrave, and then we're going to head all the way up here to Liurnia of the Lakes. So, if you don't want to go through the castle here, you can just go to this secret path over here and then make your way to Liurnia. It should be pretty easy how to get through this area. Just follow, there's nothing really going on. And then you're going to get here to the Academy Gate town. Now there's two places we're going to go from here, but first we're going to go to the left. And again, there's nothing here, so just follow the path, and we're going to head over here to the Temple Quarter. Now after that, after you get here, we're going to go all the way down to this big rock over here, and we're going to get something called the Key. I don't remember what it's actually called, but you're going to get a key. It's behind this big dragon guy over here. You don't need to fight him. He's not that scary. He's just sleeping, and you can just walk past him. So be sure to run past him. And then this guy right here, this dead guy, he'll have it. I already picked it up on this guy. This is Hugh Jackman, by the way, and I already picked up the key. I don't want to fight this big dragon guy, so goodbye. Alright, so after you get the key, we're going to go back to the Academy Gate town, and then we're going to go all the way up here to this cave right here. So I switched to my other character because I did that cave on my other guy. And yeah, we're just going to run over here and we're going to get the Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 1. This is going to be really useful for when we level up our weapon. Again, we're not going to need it right now, but it's good to just get it now. And if you want to get it later, that's fine. This video is like Elden Ring. There's a lot of stuff in it, but you could just come back to any part of it whenever you want. You can skip around, you can come back. It's designed like Elden Ring, so I thought that'd be pretty cool to do. So this is my first tutorial. I hope you guys are enjoying it. While we run over here, I'd like to do some more relaxed segments. You know, it'll feel like we're on a journey together as we create this Gungus character. Not just me giving you a lecture and teaching you things, but like you really went on the Gungus discovery journey with me. I think that'll be a really powerful moment, and I think this will be one of the best videos I've ever made. So we're just going to run all the way over here. I thought this would be very nice to show you some of the scenery and show you my Willem Dafoe character. And while we're running, I might as well tell you a lot about Gungus. So the thing about Gungus is he loves this wave gesture. I can't use it right now because I'm on the horse, but every time you defeat a boss or an enemy, or every time you enter a boss arena if you want, make sure to wave. Gungus is a very polite character, and you really don't want to say that Gungus is impolite. An impolite version of Gungus isn't Gungus at all. You might as well name your character something else. So make sure to be polite, wave goodbye, say hello, things like that. When you're Gungus, you really have to commit to Gungus, and if you don't, then it's just really disappointing, and I will be disappointed if you watch this video and you didn't actually feel like Gungus by the end of it. So we're going to ignore all this, and we're finally going to make it over here to the cave. So jump off the horse. This is a pretty long dungeon, but it shouldn't be too hard. So this is my Green Goblin build. This is a different character. Again, you can do this on whatever character you want. I have this doesn't matter though, I'm just showing you what I'm using. So we're going to run in here. This is the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. This is a pretty good dungeon, and it shouldn't be too difficult. So you know what, I'm not going to cut to the end. We're going to go through this together because I think this will be a lot of fun. So there's that guy over there. You don't need to worry about him. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So we're just going to run back. Then we're going to get here. If you want to pick up some of the stones along the way, like this one, that guy will get mad at you, but whatever. It's not his problem anymore. So just run this way. Just follow my exact path, and you should be fine. I hope you guys have been enjoying the tutorial. I definitely want to do more Elden Ring builds. I think this one is probably the best build ever made, though, so it'll be pretty difficult to beat. And I hope you are enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, please make sure to leave a like for Gungus and wave hello. I hope this man doesn't fall down. Oh, this man fall down. Alright, fortunately we are going to have to fight this man. This man shouldn't be too difficult. There we go. I didn't know that man could bleed. He's made of rocks, but whatever. So after that, we're going to head down this way. I'm not sure why I'm still in combat, but this is the path to get there, and you are going to have to defeat a boss, unfortunately, but it is a pretty easy boss. It's actually one of the easiest bosses in Elden Ring, so I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to beat him. So we're almost there. That guy's being annoying and shooting me, and so is this guy, but whatever. It's okay. There isn't a checkpoint here, though, so if you do die, you're going to have to make a very long run back. But again, that's okay. If this guy could stop throwing stuff, that'd be very nice. Oh, while you are here, make sure to walk down and grab all of these, though, because that's really easy to get. And you just got 3 Smithing Stone 3s, so you might as well save some money for later. Alright, so you're going to want to go down this elevator. Hopefully they're not chasing me still. Alright, and here we are at the boss. So this boss is called the Crystallian. Alright, I'm going to use the flame sling on him, I guess. So here he is. He's right here. And now this boss may seem like he has a ton of health. Like, look at this. Oh, I missed. Look at that. 12 damage for that big fireball. Doesn't that sound really stupid? Look at that. I'm not doing any damage at all, right? The trick with this man is you have to break his posture. So keep doing jump attacks and charge attacks, things like that. And then once you hit him like this, look how much damage we're doing now. So that's a huge upgrade. And after that, he should be really weak. One of the weakest bosses, actually. I kind of like this boss. It's really cool to think that it's like super hard, but then you actually get closer and he's just really easy. So just keep hitting him. There he goes. Now he's dead. And now you're going to get Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 1. So there you go, Smithing Stone minus Bell Bearing 1. Again, we're not going to use this right now, and if this is your first time playing Elden Ring, you just did your first dungeon, and I'm very proud of you. Alright, so now we're back over on my other character, and now we're going to fast travel over here to the Academy Gate Town. This is kind of like the intersection of the two other areas we went to. Now that we have the key that we got earlier, we're going to head up to the next area. So just follow this path here. I'll show this path just because it's not very long and it might be pretty confusing. So now that we have the key, we're just going to want to climb over some enemies, go into a door, go into another door, ride a few more times, and then we should be there and you should be able to get to the Altus Plateau. What's really funny is I thought it was called the Atlas Plateau, and it took me like an entire year to realize that it was spelled differently. So if you read it as Atlas Plateau, just make sure you read it closely, then you should be fine. So once you see these spikes, just jump over them. And this place should be really easy. If you ride the horse, you can just jump over this flamethrower guy. He doesn't do anything. This guy too, look at this guy. He's not doing anything. Yeah, he's just going to get hit. So you can pick whatever this is up. Smithing Stone 3, that's actually a lot. This big flamethrower guy, he just missed. This guy missed too. These guys aren't very good at their job. I just jumped over all of them. So once you get here, you might as well activate this grace. I already did that, so I'm not going to get off. So once you get here, jump off and then walk through this. This should only work if you have the key. And it's going to load, so it'll take a minute. Alright, now we're here. So make sure to get this grace, and then we're going to walk over here to this weird seal thing here. So now you're going to walk through that. Alright, and now you should be here on the Bellum Highway. So you're just going to follow this highway all the way up here. I'm not going to run over there. I'm just going to fast travel. It should be pretty easy. There is a catapult, but if you look closely, you should be able to avoid it. Or maybe it's a crossbow or something. Regardless, it's still not that difficult to avoid. And once you get here, you're going to run up here. You can use the horse if you want. Now that you have the Dectus medallion that we got earlier, you can just hold up the medallion, and then this giant elevator will take you up. There is a cutscene. I'm just going to skip it so that we can move along quickly. There is 2 cutscenes here for some reason, and you have to skip both of them. And alright, here we are. So we're at the Altus Plateau. This place is going to be pretty difficult, so you might not want to be able to fight. You might not want to fight that many enemies while you're here, because it is a really hard area. You're not meant to do this right away. So you're going to keep running, and then we're actually going to end up running all the way up here to the outer wall battleground. So once you get here, it should be pretty straightforward. There's some enemies to avoid, but if you're on the horse, you should be able to run past them just fine. So now this is the pathway we're going to have to take. So you're going to follow me this way. If you want to progress the story, you have to go that way, but it doesn't matter because you haven't killed any bosses yet, so you're not going to be able to get through there anyway. So this place is actually really annoying. We're going to make a detour. I'm going to show you how to make this easier. So there are these guys right here, and they operate the catapults, and these catapults are stupid. So you might as well just kill these guys right now, just so that the catapults don't attack you, because they're just really annoying. So I'm just going to get that guy, and then there's actually 2 more, I think, so I should be pretty careful, unless the catapults just magically work on their own. Alright, there we go. So now all the catapults should be done, and we can keep going. So I don't think there's anyone operating any catapults, so if they do start throwing stuff, just be sure to avoid it. Oh, they just work on their own, so then you're going to just want to look behind you and make sure they don't hit you, because these things are really annoying. I don't like the catapults at all, because if they hit you off your horse and your guy has to fall over, and they have really long range, I just don't like these things, so like that, and I really wish that didn't happen. That just ruined my entire day. My entire day is so much worse than it was 5 seconds ago because that happened. If that one had hit me, then my day would have just been done. There's nothing I could do to redeem this day, so we're going to keep going. Hopefully the catapults stop soon. I don't think I'm going to get hit by any of them again, though. I should be out of range. Yeah, so once you get here, you should be fine. And as soon as I can open my map, I'll actually show you where we're going next. So actually, I just missed it. We're going up here to the Windmill Village. So this place is pretty cool. There's lots of dancing people. And we're going to get to this grace up here. So be sure to activate this grace. And then in this grace, you're actually going to want to go here. And you're going to go to memorize spell, and we're going to put on, make sure you have the poison mist that we got earlier. So once you do that, you should be ready to go for the next step. Alright, so continuing through the Windmill Village, we are going to have to use the seal and the poison mist. But if you pick the samurai character at the start, you're not going to have enough faith. But fortunately, there is a way to fix that without leveling up at all. So we're going to go all the way back down here to the last Kiar ruins, and we're going to go over here to the purified ruins. So just follow your horse over here. It is pretty difficult to find. I actually just spent 20 years looking for it in my last attempt. So you're just going to follow me to this waypoint. It should be pretty easy to find once you know where you're looking. And it is pretty hard to find because it's actually hidden under something. So just follow me and you should be okay though. So it's up here in the ruins. There's a lot of enemies here, but you can just run past them. There is a Stake of America if you die, so you should be okay. Now what you're going to want to do is run right here. It's kind of hidden behind this wooden thing. Then you're just going to want to open the door. Maybe the dogs will follow you, maybe not. And here you go. That's the Shibiri grape. You don't need that, but in this chest, here is the 2 fingers heirloom. So if you don't have enough faith and you pick the samurai character or anything else around that level, you should have enough if you wear this, and you should be able to return to the Windmill Village. So let's actually go do that right now. Let's go back to the Windmill Village. Alright, so we're back here over at the Windmill Village, and before we continue, you are going to want to make sure that as many flasks as you have, you're going to want to put all of them into the blue flask. This is because we're going to be using a lot of magic, and if you don't have a lot, you're going to run out, and then it's going to be very difficult. So we're going to make our way through the village. This should be pretty easy. These people don't fight back. They're just dancing. They're just having a good time. So just ignore them. Just run through on the horse, and you should be fine. Although if you do get pretty far, they might attack you, but it's okay. So there is a boss up here. This is the Godskin Apostle, and he is pretty difficult. So you're going to walk up. Now that he starts running, you're going to move over here. And you're just going to stay here and hide and watch him until he stops walking. Alright, so now that he's standing still, we're going to sneak up behind him. So he is not going to move from that spot at all unless he sees you. So make sure he doesn't see you, and make sure you have a lot of magic flasks, and make sure you have your seal and your poison mist. So what you're going to do is sit behind him and then poison him. Now this does about 12 damage a second, and he has about 7,000 health, and the poison will eventually run off. So what you're going to have to do is sit here, wait for the poison to stop. It should stop around when it does 1,083 damage or something like that. So you're just going to sit here and wait for that to happen, and then poison him again. And just, if you run out of magic, drink your magic flask and just keep doing that until he dies. This is a really easy way to defeat this guy without even fighting him at all. If you want to try fighting him, you can, but he is going to be very difficult. I'm not going to show you the whole process, but that's how you poison him. And once you do that, you should get the Godskin Peeler, which is Gungus's weapon of choice. Alright, so there we go. We got the Godskin Peeler. So that should have taken about 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys poisoned him and didn't spend hours and hours fighting it. Oh, I can't actually use it on this character. That's pretty funny. But that's okay because I have a different Gungus to use. So there you go. You got the Godskin Peeler. This is Gungus's weapon of choice. Here you go. I'll show it to you. It's a really cool weapon. You can do this Black Flame Tornado. Oh, it actually does work. That's pretty cool. So there you go. This is the Godskin Peeler. It's pretty cool. This is what Gungus uses, so if you want to be a true Gungus, you have to use this. Alright, so now we're going to get arguably the most important part of the Gungus build. So we're going to fast travel back to the Windmill Village. You don't really have to do this, but it just saves a little bit of time. And we're going to head over to the Volcano Manor. So it's a bit difficult on how to get there, so I'm just going to show you. So basically, you go down here and over here and over here. So we're going to go down. It's going to be a bit of a journey, but I hope that you guys will enjoy it. So I'm not going to use the Godskin Peeler on this guy. I know that it's the Gungus, but this isn't really a Gungus character. This is just to show you how to become Gungus. I already have Gungus on some other characters, so don't worry. You'll get to see them later. So we're going to go down this way, and it is a bit of a journey to the Volcano Manor, but I really do want to show you this because I think it is really important. So it's going to be fun. I'm sorry if this is not the most professional tutorial and it's not the most scripted thing ever, but I think that makes it more human and more down to earth. So I really hope that the Gungus tutorial ends up being something special. I have been really enjoying this. I hope you guys have been enjoying it too. Feel free to press the like button if you want to. You don't have to. Feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment. Just write Gungus if you made it this far. I apologize for hitting my microphone as well. So, we're going to keep going. It is this way. And it is a bit of a journey, so I'm not sure if I'm going to talk the whole time, but that's okay. So over there is the start of this. This is a really long journey. There's a lot of ladders, a lot of stuff to do, but it's going to be okay. So we're going to jump up here, and we're almost there. So, actually, I'm kidding. We're not almost there at all, but we're almost to the start of it. So this bridge down here, you're going to want to cross that. Then you're going to find a grace. I haven't actually been here on this character, so you are going to see me interact with all the graces and things like that, but it shouldn't take too much time. Alright, so let's go over here and get this grace. I'll show you where we are just to be sure. Right now we're at the Bridge of Iniquity, so that's pretty cool. And what you're going to be looking for is a ladder, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. And there are going to be some enemies here, but you can always just run past them. They're not going to hurt you if you climb the ladder fast enough. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Well, I'm sorry, I can't jump over that. I thought I could. Who's this guy? Alright, so right over here is the ladder. You're going to want to just climb up this as soon as possible before the big guys get you. Don't worry, they don't seem to be mad at me. Oh, shoot! Oh, no, I forgot to change my healing flask back. Oh! Alright, if I die here, that's okay. We can always start over. I don't think they can reach me now. But the next time you go to a grace, don't make the same mistake I did. And remember to change back your flask to the healing flask. If you remember, we switched it to the magic one so we could poison the guy. But we don't need to do that anymore. So it's definitely important to have more healing flasks, because if I don't get that, I might die. So definitely, if we see a grace, we're going to just go do that. And the first grace we see, I believe there's one up here. I think so. Yeah, there's a grace right here, and there's also some runes, so you might as well get those. So go to this grace, or just any other grace. It's alright. So just sit down here, and then go over to flasks, allocate flask charges. Just put all of them in the healing thing. You don't really need any magic for the Gungus build. Alright, now we can continue on our journey. So you might as well just pick these up. Oh, I missed. They're not going to give you that much, but it's okay. Alright, we're going to follow this. You're actually going to want to go... I spent a long time the other day looking for the ladder on this side, but this isn't actually the correct way. You're going to want to go over here to the right. There are some items you can pick up if you really want to, but you don't have to. You can just keep going and avoid all these guys. Here's another pumpkin guy. Alright, there is another ladder over here, and I believe there's going to be one of those big grafted scion guys from the tutorial. There they are. So feel free to just avoid him and just climb up as fast as you can. He shouldn't hurt you there. And yeah, he's not going to hit me. He's going to try. He can't climb up the ladder. He's got... Oh, he tried though. Alright, he's not going to hit me. And then you're just going to keep going up here to the next ladder. It's over here. Well, there is another ladder over there that goes all the way to the top, but I'm just going to go to this one. I don't know what happens if you go up the other one, but this one works too. Alright, this guy, I'm just going to... Oh, shoot. Oh, I apologize for that. That was not supposed to happen. I'm not doing this very good. I'm very sorry. As long as I can get up this ladder, I should be fine, though. Although I believe these people can climb up the ladders. They can. That's not very good at all. But we should be able to outmaneuver them. I think that should be enough of a lead where it isn't a problem anymore. And if they are, we can always just kick them off. I'm going to crouch actually to avoid... Oh no, there's a lot of the birds. I might get hit by this. Alright, I managed to stay on the ladder. That's really good. Alright. I don't think those guys can climb up the ladder though, so that's pretty good. Alright, so now we're here. Now you can get on the horse. I don't think there's any more ladders after this. There is a guy over here, but you don't really need to worry about him. He's not hurting anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually this way, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Unless I'm mistaken. No, this is the correct way. So you're going to want to go over this bridge. And then to the grace over here. Alright, so there is a really long ladder you can climb, but why would you do that when you can just go up this air thing? So get on your horse, go over here and jump up this. This will take you really far. There is a boss over there, but you don't have to fight him. You don't even have to engage him. Just go over to the side and he'll ignore you. He'll just sit there doing nothing like always. So we're almost at the Volcano Manor, and I might as well just show you the rest because it isn't really that hard to get to. So we're going to go all the way down here. Avoid all these bow guys. They're not going to hurt you. Go down this, and then you're going to run past all of these guys here. So this big guy, again, if you want to try to fight all these guys, you can if you really want to. You might get some extra runes doing that, but it is pretty difficult, so you might as well just run past. He does sound pretty mad, though. Alright, so we're going to go in here. He's trying to shoot stuff at me. Don't worry about it. He's not going to hurt you. So now we're here at the Volcano Manor. So we're not done yet. We do have to progress a little bit through this area, but it shouldn't take very long. So the first thing you're going to do after you activate this is you're going to go talk to this person. You're just going to skip through all the dialogue. It's okay. Just skip through it. If you want to know the story, you can look it up on YouTube or something. I don't know the story, so I can't explain it to you. I'm very sorry about that. But there we go. We got the key. So now you're going to follow this path. You're going to go over here. You're going to open this door. It'll take a very long time to open. You can roll like that. You can pick up this thing, a perfume bottle, and then you just roll into this wall. There is going to be like a snail here, but you can just kill that if you want. The main thing is you're just going to be running past everything, so make sure you go down here. It is a bit hard to see, so if you have a torch or a lantern, you might want to use that. I don't know if I have any of those right now, though, so I'm just going to run past. There's this big knight guy as well, but you can run past him too. And then once you get in here, there's going to be another grace, and here you are at the Volcano Manor area. So make sure to activate this. Now go out the door. Just like this. Now this place is pretty cool, so just follow me. I'll show you where it is. So there's these big snake guys, but you don't have to fight them if you don't want to. You're just going to run past everything. Again, make sure you switch the flasks back. That will be pretty bad if you don't. There's a dog that's going to chase you. I'll just get him now just because he's annoying. And one of these guys, that's actually really bad. I hope they don't kill me. So just keep running past, and it shouldn't be too hard to get there. I don't think it's a very difficult area to access. You might have to fight one of the big snake guys. There was one right there, if you can see that in the distance. I believe I am being pursued. Alright. Alright, so I'm not going to fight this snake guy. I'm just going to run past. And what you're going to want to do is climb up this ladder. So it shouldn't take you very long to do. I know there's a lot of ladders in this part. I don't think there should be too many after this. So what you're going to want to do after that is fall down here. You might take a little bit of damage, but don't worry. So then you're going to crouch, and you're going to go here, and right here on this thing, Albinuaric staff, and the Albinuaric mask. So this is how you're going to become Gungus. So there we go. Now we look like Gungus for the most part. We just need his clothes. There's this guy here. I'm going to try to fight him. You don't have to. There we go. We got him. So now you have the Gungus mask. So this is probably the most important element. And if you get this, then you should know that you're making really good progress. So stay tuned for the next part. But now you have the Gungus mask, which is arguably the greatest part. Alright, so we're over here on my other character, because we're actually going to get the next Smithing Stone Bell. This one's a lot easier to get to the other one, so you're going to want to go right down here to the sealed tunnel. You should start at the outer wall Phantom Tree Grace. And once we go there, we're just going to run. It's really easy to get. It's a lot easier than the other one. The other one you had to fight a boss. This one is just sitting in a chest for some reason, so it's right at the start of the area too, so it really shouldn't take you very long. So just follow this step and we should be there pretty quickly. Alright, so here we go. Now we're in the sealed tunnel. So this is another dungeon. You can do the entire dungeon if you want, but I'm not just going to do that. I'm just going to get the bell and then leave. So you want to activate the grace here, and you might be wondering, hey, where do I go? There's no entrance. There actually is. You just have to hit this wall right here. Just hit it once. It'll disappear. There's lots of these walls everywhere. There's always people lying on the online messages. So what you're going to want to do, break all of these, go down here, and it's in this chest right here. You can pick it up. There you go. Now you have it. Smithing Stone, Miner's Bell Bearing 2. So that's pretty much all we're going to do with this character, except for one more thing. So after that, you can actually just leave this dungeon. We have what we needed and we can go. So the next thing you might want to do is go get a bunch of runes. And the best way to do that is to kill the big dragon in front of the fort that we got the second half of the Dectus medallion in. So you can't fast travel when you're in a dungeon, but once you leave, now you can. So go over to the fort here, and this dragon has like 100,000, 200,000 health, and it's pretty much impossible to kill normally. He's just sitting right here, so the main thing you're going to want to do is use a bleed weapon. I have these claws right here, so we're just going to sit at his foot over here, and we're just going to keep hitting it until it dies. If you want to use one of those golden foot things, that'll be pretty good too. But see, we're only doing like 500 damage, and it's not really doing a lot at all. But if we keep it up, see, look at that, 13,000 damage. He should be dead in no time. Alright, so there we go. Now the big dragon is dead, and all the other dragons around him are going to die too. So you're going to get quite a lot of money from this. So right now I have 14,000. After this I should have way more than that. I should have like... So that one gives you 15,000, and look at that. Now I have so much. So what you're going to want to do now is actually go to the Table of the Lost Grace and the round table hold again. You remember how to get there earlier. It's the YXA or triangle square X. And now what you're going to want to do to upgrade the peeler, I don't have it on this character, but this is just to show you what you're going to do, is you're going to buy, well, first you're going to go over here to the Twin Maiden Husks, and you're going to offer both of the bell bearings that you got. You give them those as presents, and then now you're going to have these. So if you want to upgrade a weapon, you just need to buy 12 of these. So just buy 12 of each of these, and then go upgrade your peeler to the highest level you can, just so that it's good, and you're just going to get a huge advantage in the early game. And you're still going to have a lot of runes, so I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade a lot of the stats that I had on this character. I haven't actually played as Willem Dafoe in a couple years, but I guess I'll put some more into health. Oh, I can't really do that much. I might as well just go for 40 health on here. This doesn't really matter, I'm just using those. But yeah, that's the last we're going to see of this character. We're going to go back to the other one to finish the rest of the build. But yeah, that's how you kill the dragon and get all the smithing stones. That'll be pretty good. If you do that, you'll be really good against the early game bosses, and the game should be a lot easier. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is actually fight Radagon. This is the boss over here. I already killed him on most of my characters, but I'll put some footage up here so you can see me fighting him on an earlier time. So you are going to want to beat him because we are going to have to do a quest line, and the quest line does involve fighting him. So just make sure he's dead. He is a pretty tough boss, but if you use the summons and you use a bleed weapon... Oh, by the way, if you use the Godskin Peeler, remember to put the bloody slash on that we got earlier so that you can make it bleed, and that'll be much better than it was before. So once you do that, you're going to want to go back to Liurnia, go over to here where you were at with the dragon at the temple quarter, and then go west over here, and then keep going up and up and up and all the way to here, which is the main Caria Manor gate. So we're going to head through, we're going to do this entire area real quick just so you guys know where to go. And once we do this, we are going to have to fight the boss at the end of this area. It shouldn't be too difficult, but it is something that you are going to have to do. If you're struggling, just go and level up some more. There are a lot of fingers over here. You can just kill them though. There's a big one over there. Those ones are really annoying. But mostly you're just going to run past all these guys. Hopefully they don't grab me like that. That would have been very tragic, but thankfully we avoided it. So we're just going to keep running up through here. It shouldn't take too long, and then once we're done with this area, we'll just fight the boss, and then we'll start the quest line. So it's actually Ranni's quest line, so if you've already done that, then you should already know where to go for the most part, and you shouldn't have to do this part. Remember, if your build or playthrough is more advanced than this one, that you can skip some of these steps. This is just for beginners so that everyone knows exactly what to do just from starting a brand new game all the way to full Gungus. So make sure to get this. This is really useful because those fingers are really annoying. So go out here and then you're going to go this way. There's these guys here. You can fight them if you really want to. But again, you don't really have to fight any enemies. You just can. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. So you're going to want to go this way. Make sure you get up this staircase here. And again, there's going to be enemies that are following you a lot, and they do seem really annoying. But you can always just kill them like that. Or dodge. Their crossbow bolts are really easy to dodge. So if you step on one of those, just keep running or dodge out of the way. It shouldn't be too hard. Alright, so now we're here at this elevator, so jump on this, ready to go up. I really do love the frog mask. It is what makes Gungus Gungus. He would not be the same without it. So here we go. We're going to go over here to the Grace. We're going to touch it to activate it. So there we go. So we're going to go out here now. And unfortunately, there is going to be a lot of lions and stuff. Or dogs, I apologize. That's not a lion. You can sneak past them, which I'm going to do right now. Or you can just run. I'm just going to run. They might see me. It's okay. But the boss we're going to fight up here is called Loretta. If I die, I'll just edit this and show you the winning one. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to get past these people first. So they do have big blue swords like that, but it shouldn't be too hard to dodge. Just keep running. Just keep running and dodging. You can fight things if you really want to. Let me get this guy. The Gungus mask will lower your amount of healing, but if you get one of the talismans that does the opposite of that, you should be okay. So make sure to go in here. I don't think the enemies can get in here. And then here's the boss. So, alright, let's see if we can do this first try. Hopefully we can. I'm doing a lot of damage, and they're not doing much damage to me, so this should be okay. Alright, there we go. So now we have the boss defeated. You're going to get the Loretta's Great Bow and the Loretta's Slash. You're not going to use those, but it's still pretty cool to have them. So activate that, and then you're going to run over here this way. And this is how we're going to start the next part of the quest. So I'm going to go out here. Once you get past this, you can call the horse, which is pretty useful. So we're going to start Ranni's quest. It is a pretty long quest. We're not going to do the entire thing because that would take a really long time, but we're just going to do it up to a certain point. Remember, you do have to kill Radagon, so make sure to go do that in Caelid. You do have to have the Dectus medallion activated for that to work, but since you already did that, since you're following the tutorial, you should be okay. So if you haven't killed Radagon, go do that, and then come back over here, and we can go to this tower right here to meet Ranni. So all you have to do here is talk to her, and then talk to some other people, and then you should be good to go to get to the next part of the quest. And we are almost done. This is very exciting. So we are approaching like the back half of this, unfortunately. I do wish the Gungus tutorial could last forever, but if it did, you would have no Gungus. So all great things must come to an end, unfortunately. So let's activate the Grace right there, and now we're going to go upstairs like this. And you're just going to go on this elevator. It's a very slow elevator, but it still shouldn't take too long. Your Gungus can wave. Alright, so make sure to go over here, climb up all these stairs. Should take pretty long. And now you just get to talk to her a lot. Just say no particular reason. You don't really have another choice, so you kind of have to. And then just say that you'll serve her. That's all you really need to do. And just keep talking until she's done with her dialogue. It should just keep going. Alright, so if you hear that with the like thee and all that, then you should be done. So just make sure to go back downstairs. And you can't actually leave this area until you've talked to everybody. So I'll show you where they all are, just to be safe. So just wait for the elevator to go down. And then you're going to talk to this guy. This is the big blacksmith guy. You can find him earlier. he can actually level your stuff up. Just wait until he says together. Alright, so now we're going to go down here to the next... Wait, did I miss one? Oh, I think I missed one because of the Radagon. There might be someone else here, but I think because I already killed Radagon, someone else is already gone. I did not mean for that to rhyme, I apologize, but just keep talking to everybody here, and I think... Yeah, I know you reside. Oh, wait, he might have more to say, actually. Let me just double check. Alright, so there we go. So now, I think that's pretty much everyone here. I thought there would be more people because there were on my other character, but there's not. So let's just go back up to Ranni and talk to her again. And then we should be able to go to the next part of the quest, which is really exciting. I can't wait to keep showing you more of the Gungus tutorial. I'm really happy. Maybe one day I'll turn this into a speed run. That might be a lot of fun, to do a Gungus speed run to see how fast people can do all of these. I think that could be cool. I could have the world record in something that I made up. I think that'd be pretty fun. So let's talk to her again. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we killed Radagon, and now we're going to go over here for the next part of the quest. Alright, so head over to Fort Haight. Remember this place? Oh, it's like so long ago when we started, but it feels just like it was 5 minutes ago. Alright, so if you killed Radagon, there should be this giant hole over here. So, how you get past this hole is you can't just jump down or you're just going to die. So you have to go on a very specific path. You have to go all the way over there to see where it's like less elevated. So this is a pretty long journey. This is probably going to be a pretty long unedited segment, but I hope you guys enjoy those. I think they're my favorite part of this because I love just the joy of exploring with Gungus and all that. So head down this way. You're going to jump down here. Eventually, unfortunately, we will not be able to use the horse, but again, that's okay because it shouldn't take too long to walk through. So once you get over here, it's a little hard to see. You're going to want to jump down over here, land like that. So once you get here, just jump off the horse. I like doing the jump before the thing ends so you can get that extra boost and you don't have to stop moving. So you're going to jump down here. You might lose a bit of stamina, but that doesn't really matter. I don't think any of these falls will kill you unless you fall down the pit right there, of course. You can pick up these mushrooms if you want. So now you're over here at Nokron, Eternal City. So we are going to have to go through a pretty large portion of this area, but it should be a lot of fun. There is one boss that we have to fight, but don't worry, it's going to be really funny. So we're just going to go over here. There's these blob guys, but you don't have to worry about them. Just pick up the stuff and then leave. They're not going to hit you. So just make sure not to jump or fall down these holes or anything like that. Actually, I don't think you can. There's windows there. Pick up whatever this is, the butterfly. And then, so we're going to go right here. And then down there is kind of where we're headed if you want to get an idea of that. So pick up whatever this is. That's pretty good if you want to summon a friend. So jump down here. There's these guys here. Again, you can fight them if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to kill them. You can pick that up if you want to summon. And now we're here at the next grace. So be sure to grab this because otherwise it'll be a really long run back. Unfortunately, we still can't use the horse, so we are just going to have to run a really long time. So here we are down here, and you can pretty much avoid all these enemies. They're not going to hurt you. So yeah, we're just going to keep going. It says I'm still in combat. Maybe one of the ones from over there is still chasing me. You can pick up whatever this thing is, the silver tear husk, sure. But that's the fog wall that we're headed to, so pick this up. Golden Rune 7, that's pretty good. I'll just fight these guys, why not? It's good to have a little action in your Elden Ring tutorials. So here we are at the boss. Now this boss is actually called the Mimic tier, and what he does, he just copies you. He takes all your armor, he takes all your weapons. He's just you, basically. So to avoid that, what we're going to do is something that's really funny. I do this every time. It makes it really easy, but it's so funny. So whatever weapon you have, just take it off. So there you don't have any weapons. So now run in here. And then wait for the boss to spawn. It'll do a thing. You'll know when it does it. So then when you see the boss, just get ready to put your weapon back on. So now, look at him. He can hit me. Look how little damage it'll do. I could stand here all day and I won't die. So Now you just gotta kill him. If you do this, it'll be a lot easier. He does avoid your attacks a lot, like that. Oh, and he got to heal, unfortunately, so this is going to be a bit longer. I'm running out of stamina. Oh, shoot. That was actually a pretty good roll on his part. Alright, there we go. Remember, now you're Gungus, so you have to wave goodbye. So say bye. Oh, I forgot to wave goodbye to Loretta. I'm so sorry about that. So, make sure to get the grace here. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to level up right now. Here's a quick detour. I think it'll just be pretty good. Alright, there we go. So after this, you're going to want to go up here, and I have very good news for you. After you pass this thing, you can use the horse again. So, that'll be a lot better because this area is really big, and you're going to want to use this to get around. So, we're about halfway done with this. We just need one more item from this area, and then we just take it back to Ranni, and then we get to the final part of getting the Gungus outfit. So, you're going to want to go this way. Don't run into that bush like I did. There's a deer here. And we're not going to be fighting any bosses or any enemies in this area. We're just going to be running, so make sure to get that. There's all these people singing songs and stuff, but you don't have to worry about them. They're not going to hurt you. So just go past here, and now here you are at the next grace. So you're going to activate this. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to use the horse anymore. Or at least I don't think you should, because you'll probably... Oh, no, you can't. So you're just going to follow me. I think this is the right way. Yeah, so you're just going to go this way. And you're going to jump down here. You're going to pick up this if you want to. And as for this is just a pretty simple path. It'll take a while to get there because it's pretty long. But the path of it is pretty simple. There's all these people trying to shoot at you and stuff, but they're not going to hit you. They're not very good at aiming, so it shouldn't be too bad. So you're going to go down here. There is an item that you can pick up if you want. You don't need to for Gungus, but if you want to, it'll be good to have. So make sure you don't fall down too far. Just fall down here. And now definitely get this thing, the black wet blade. There's no reason not to. So now you're going to want to fall down here. There's this big ball and this person here, but you can just run past them. So just don't engage with them. They're not going to hurt you. So just go out here. And then there's another grace down here, actually. So you might as well activate that just in case something terrible happens. So let's go get that real quick. Alright, there we go. So now we're just going to run all the way down here. There's a lot of these blob guys. They're going to try to hurt you, but don't worry. They shouldn't be able to. You can even get the Celestial Dew if you really want to. Although this one is going to be really big, so you definitely want to avoid him. So what you're going to want to do is just run past all of this, and then go in here, and then get this chest right here. So in this chest is something called the Finger Blade. The Fingerslayer Blade, I apologize. But then there's this big guy, and if you want to avoid him, just go into this teleporter. And that's going to take you all the way back to the start, exactly where we were. So feel free to rest, and yeah, now we're going to go take this back to Ranni. Alright, so once you have the Fingerslayer Blade, go ahead and fast travel back to Ranni's Rise. This is where we were before after we beat Loretta. And we're just going to go up to that elevator and talk to her again. So all the people, they're not here right now, but it's okay. You don't really have to do any more of the questline, although make sure not to fall down. So I forgot to call back the elevator, so just remember to push this lever. Wait for the thing to come back. And then now we can go up it and get the final thing that we need before the final part of this challenge. So here we go. I hope you guys have been enjoying the tutorial. Here's another Gungus wave for you. So we're going to go up here. And we're just going to talk to her until she gives us a very important item. Alright, so there we go. Once you have that, you can just leave. So what we're going to do is actually, we need to go all the way down here to this tower right here. So we're going to start from... Also, I haven't showed you guys how to get here, so we're just going to go back to the Grand Lift of Dectus. This is a bit of a journey, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. So what we're going to do is you're going to get on the horse, and you're just going to follow me, and I'll take you there. So this is a pretty cool journey, and what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put this pedestal thing that she gave us in the tower, and it's going to turn the tower upside down. And then after we follow a pretty simple route, we should be able to get to the top of the tower, and then we'll be able to get the armor set. So to get there, you're not going to go that way. I don't think there's anything over there. You're just going to keep going to the south, and eventually you should be able to make it. So there is going to be this big tower here that's going to give you frenzy because these people are yelling on top of it like that. So you might have to keep healing, and your frenzy thing is going to go up. You might get knocked off your horse. It's okay though. It shouldn't be too bad. It's not hurting me too much right now. I'm not sure why, but just make sure to pick up all these Roa fruits and stuff. That might be useful if you really want it. But the main thing is just to keep following this path. If you get hurt by the madness, just drink. You'll be okay. There's lots of people here. We can go up there to that church later, but we don't really need to right now. That'll be part of the next part of this quest, actually. So what we're going to do is actually keep heading to the south, which I believe is actually... So here, you can jump on this actually to get over it. Just like that. That should be better. And now you're going to want to head down here. So this is actually a pretty big drop. I'm not sure if this is the correct way. I apologize, but it'll get you there nonetheless. Alright, so we're just going to keep going, and we're going to make it down there eventually. It'll take a pretty long time, but this is a pretty big drop, so make sure you land on one of these things. Let me check how far we are. Oh, we still got a little bit of ways to go, but it should be pretty smooth from here on. So go down here. You can jump if you want to. Just make sure not to fall off here, because you're definitely going to die if you do that. Pick up all these sunflowers. Alright, so here we are at the Divine Tower. So just go ahead and go in here, and you can get the Grace. Definitely get that. And what you're going to want to do is put that statue that we got on top of this thing. Now there's going to be a cutscene. We're just going to skip that. If you don't want to skip it so you can watch it, go ahead. But make sure that stays on there. And now this entire tower is going to be upside down. So just follow me and I'll show you where to go. So first you're going to go here. There's going to be some fingers in here, but just avoid them. Now you're going to want to walk this way. There is going to be a guy shooting at you, but I don't think he's going to hurt you. As long as you keep moving like that, you could just dodge it. So I'm not sure if this is the official way to do it, but I saw it on a guide yesterday. You're going to want to jump all the way down to this thing. You are going to take a little bit of fall damage, so you might as well heal just to be safe. But it's okay. So now you're going to jump over to this thing. And now you're going to land on this thing right here. And then this one right here. Be careful not to fall off. Now you're going to go down to this. So now when you walk on this elevator is going to take you all the way... Oh, down. Oh, sorry. I thought it went up. It's going to take you down to exactly where we need to go. So just wait for the elevator to go. It should be really simple once you manage to get here to this tower. And then it should be this way. So make sure you go out this little door. Jump here. Jump up this. Now you're going to open the door. There's going to be another cutscene, but that's okay. So now you're here and you're going to... get this grace. And now you're going to want to go here. And if I said that you don't need to use the magic anymore earlier, I lied. I apologize. So you are going to have to allocate all of your flasks, or at least a good amount of them. I'll just do 7 just to be safe, into the magic flask, because guess what we're going to have to use again? That is right. We're going to have to use the poison again. So make sure you get the Fingerslayer. And what you're going to do is you're going to get on the horse and you're just going to keep riding. And then eventually he will appear. It should be around Yeah, right there. So this is the Godskin Noble. He's pretty hard. He's not actually a boss, but he is just a big enemy. He's going to try to hit you. I don't know where he was aiming with that. That was nowhere near me. But you're just going to keep running. You're going to go really far. He's going to try to chase you. He's trying. He's not as fast as the horse, but you're going to go over here, and then you're going to open this door. Just like this. You're going to open it. Oh, hello, Gungus. That's pretty close. So he's kind of looking at you. What you're going to do after you open this door, I don't know if you have to do this, but I like to just in case. You're going to hide behind this. And you're going to wait until he turns around. So right now he's still facing me. And as soon as he turns around, we're going to head back out there. Alright, so now he's standing still. So we're just going to crouch over to him just to be sure that he doesn't see me. Alright, so now just like the other one, you're just going to poison him. This should take about 10 minutes if you're paying attention, so I'm not going to record this part, and I'll see you guys when he's dead. Alright, and with that, that is the last time we're going to need to use the poison, and as soon as this poison is done, you'll have the Gungus armor, you'll have the Gungus weapon, and you'll have the Gungus mask. So, after this, you will be Gungus, and my time here will be over. So I just wanted to give some final words, and I really hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial. It's really meant a lot to me making this. I think this is what I needed in my life. I don't think my life will ever be the same after this. I think this is one of those life defining moments right now, is me making this Gungus tutorial, and I just really feel connected with Gungus. I really hope you do too. I think Gungus is a voice of the people, and I think he understands you. Gungus understands what you're going through, and he's always there for you. And I really hope I was able to capture that in this tutorial. So, this man here is about to die, and it's unfortunate, but it must happen, so bye-bye. So there we go. Now, I'm Gungus. So, now you have everything you need to be Gungus. And I believe in you. I think that if you've made it this far, you've truly shown that you're ready to be Gungus. And I think you're going to be amazing. So be sure to do this a lot too. Gungus likes to do that. And I guess that's the end. But just wait. Just because you're Gungus, that does not mean that the tutorial is over. And I have one more surprise for you. Alright, so I'm over here on one of my other Gungus characters, and the last thing I want to do in this video is show you where to find Gungus's home. So, to find Gungus's home, you are going to have to do another quest line, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. It shouldn't take very long. I already did a couple things off of the camera just so I could make this a lot quicker, so we're going to have to go over to this church. All you're going to do to get here is just go from the Grand Lift to Dectus. Just go over here, climb up, go through the village, and then you'll just get up there. You'll have to fight a guy, but you can just walk past him if you want. So the first thing you have to do is defeat Godrick. He's over here behind this thing. I never fought him before on this character. This isn't the one we were using earlier, but hopefully I can do this first try. I have my thing leveled up a lot, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm not doing very good right now. Alright, there we go. So after Godrick is dead, we can then continue with the next part of the quest. So the grace should appear over here. We can just wait for that. Oh, I forgot. We have to wave goodbye. Always remember to wave goodbye. That's what Gungus would want. So wave goodbye. Wait for this guy to finish talking. Alright, yeah. Alright, so then we're going to go get the grace. And then, after we get this, I'm just going to get this just because. We're going to go all the way over here to Urnia, and we're going to go to the fallen ruins of the lake. And then we're going to go to this church over here. You are going to have to go to the round table hold first and look at the fingers if you want. But after that, you should be good to go. You might have to go somewhere else. I'm not 100% sure if we have to go somewhere else first. Let me just double check. Actually, here, we're going to go here just first to double check. We're going to go to the first step, which is where you started the game. And then after you kill him, the guy that you talk to that says you have no maidens, oh, he is still here. So you're going to talk to him for a bit. Okay, so actually, you're going to talk to him, and then you're going to go to the round table hold. And you're just going to go to the fingers. I forgot you have to do that first. So just go up here to the fingers. And talk to this person here. Oh, I didn't know they moved, actually. That's pretty crazy. Alright, so now that you're done with that, you're going to go all the way back to where we were before. I apologize for the error. So we're going to go back here, and then we're just going to go to the west to... we're going to go to the west to this church area, and then we're going to talk to that guy again. And we're going to do his quest, and he's going to take us to Gungus's home. So it should take a few minutes to get there, but it shouldn't be too bad. When we get there, I think it'll be a pleasant time. So we're just going to go up here. And there he is. He's going to be waiting right there, and we're just going to talk to him until he gives us the fingers. You just have to say that you did. They did fingers. They didn't seem that right. So just keep talking to him. Just keep talking to him. He's going to give you that. Alright, so if you want, you can go online, but I don't want to go online. All people do online is talk about Fortnite and Mr. Beast and stupid stuff like that. So we're going to go back to the Windmill village, and we're going to follow a path to do this quest offline. So all we have to do is just find this summon sign and attack this NPC guy. You don't have to beat him, but you can if you want to. So we're going to go down this way. This quest is actually really good for farming runes as well, because Gungus is home. If you kill Gungus's friends, unfortunately, but they've turned against him, so it's okay. If you do that, you're actually going to get a lot of money from it. So Gungus has been betrayed by his family, and you have to fight them to get a lot of money, but it's going to help you a lot. You're going to level up a lot faster. So just head this way. It shouldn't take too long. I don't even think you have to win this fight. You just have to try it a few times, but we'll still try to win anyway. So we'll go this way. Just making sure I have my waypoint set. Oh no, so actually we're going to go right here to this town right here. You can hit these guys if you want, but I don't really want to do that right now. So just keep going until you get to this village here. That guy's hitting me because he's annoying. So there should be this end part right here. There will be a dog. You can fight it if you want, but you don't have to. I think I'm going to, though, just in case. So I'm going to fight this dog right here. And then you're going to go over to this thing right here. You're going to invade Magnus the Beast Claw. And he's just going to attack you. So you just got to kill this guy. It shouldn't be too bad, but there he is right there. So he's going to come towards us, and we're just going to kill him. He is pretty difficult, but not that difficult. And if we can... He is a little annoying. Oh, he almost killed me there. There we go. So now we got him. We can wave goodbye. Alright, so now the host is vanquished. We got all of that, and now we're going to go back to our world. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're going to go back to the church where we were before. So go back to the fallen ruins of the lake. We're just going to go west again and talk to him. Now, this next part, I kind of already got ahead, and I killed the NPC, and I went just a bit ahead just to make this a bit quicker, because I know you guys are probably tired of Gungus, but I hope that you've been enjoying the journey. We are almost at its end. It's very sad to see this journey go. I've had an amazing time here, but we're going to keep going. And we're almost there. It's not a very long trip. I kind of wish they put one of the things right here, but it's okay. So we're just going to talk to this guy again, and he's going to give us something. So just keep talking to him. He's going to say you enjoyed it, and yeah, all that. So you just say anoint me, and then he's going to give you that. Just keep talking to him until he's done. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is go up here in the Church of Inhibition. Again, you start at the Grand Dectus, you go up here, avoid the big tower, go through the village, and then at the top you have to fight an NPC, but I just wanted to make this a bit quicker, so I already killed the NPC, and now we're here at the top. Here we are. You can pick this up. This will actually be really good for the flask. Pick up this too, then you can dye your cloth, and now you have that. So now, even though we were just there, we're going to go back to him yet again, and that should be the final step pretty much. So just get back on the horse and keep going west. Oh look, there's some of Gungus's family over there. We're not going to interact with them though. We're just going to go back over here. I'm pretty sure that you guys will want to do this build every single time, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope this is everything that you wanted it to be, and I'm sure that your Elden Ring adventures will be so much more fun now that you have a better understanding of how it all works, and of course how to become Gungus. So just keep talking to him. You got to give him the finger, unfortunately, so you got to offer your finger, and then you got to sit through this really long thing where he touches your finger, and it's weird, but it shouldn't take that long. Gungus is going to get hurt, unfortunately. Alright, so now that we have that, and now he's going to give you this. So now you're done. So basically, go to the inventory and use this, and now you're going to go to the audience grounds. So that's going to teleport you away. And now we're here. So you can go that way, and you can go fight Moog if you want. You want to go to the DLC, but we're going to go this way, actually. So just follow me, and we're almost there. So you're just going to go through this big area. There's lots of these guys. They have a lot of health, but you can just ignore them. So just keep going. It shouldn't take too long. It's not a very long journey. There's something crazy going on back there. A lot of shooting going on, but that's okay. Just head past all of them. And now you can hit this guy if you want. So just go up here. There's a lot of these guys. You can hit them if you really want to. And here we are. This is Gungus's family. So this is where Gungus originally came from. But his family, they've turned their backs on them. Look at them. They're just sleeping. Gungus came home and they didn't say anything. They're trying to kill him. That's so disrespectful. So now that you're actually going to want to spend a lot of time here. You can attack these guys to get money. Look at this. Here, I'll attack this one. So I got 27,000. Now I got 2,000 more just for that. So it was really easy. And these guys, they might roll at you. You can just do this. Now they're going to fall off. This is a good way to get a lot of money. You can stab them in the back as well. Just like they did to you because they didn't acknowledge you coming home. So there you go. And unfortunately, I think this is a good place to end the Gungus tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe. I hope you guys had a great time becoming Gungus. I'm sure that this was the best Elden Ring build of all time. It is amazing. It's so much fun. It's the best way to play the game in my opinion. And I hope you have a good day today. Thank you for watching, Gungus. Bye-bye.